was listening to an interview from Jeff Weiner, CEO of LinkedIn, and Jeff says he was voted the best leader in Silicon Valley in 2016. So the guy obviously has something, and he was talking about leadership as bringing together wisdom and compassion, like the two faces of leadership. And he said that wisdom without compassion could be reckless, could be even brutal, but that compassion without wisdom is foolish. What do you agree with that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So again, you were the one who introduced me to this, but that's sort of become, I think, a seminal piece in the Valley. His short essay on that. I think that the light bulb that went off for me when I began to think about compassion and what role it plays. And I even remember the first time it came up is when we had a really difficult decision about a leader in the company who had made a mistake, and the decision was, does he need to be fired for this or not? And so the whole issue, I think you brought it up, around compassion came up. And it's that, again, I'm going to be a bit repetitive, but in knowledge-driven organizations and human capital-driven organizations, the interaction between people is the business. And it's very evident when you start to think about compassion that you will be much more effective as a leader, as a teammate, as a collaborator, if you are able to truly put yourself in the other person's shoes and see where he's coming from. And again, I go back to that notion, and this begins to get into the whole concept of conscious business, right? We have incredibly bright, incredibly young, and incredibly ambitious people. So compassion, I think, is critical for that concoction of energy to not become, I step on my colleagues, I backstab my colleagues, I think that if they don't agree with me, it's because they simply don't understand me or they don't wish well for me. And I think that's how corporations begin to become ineffective and inefficient. Compassion is what gives you that ability to actually understand that we may disagree, I may not like where you're going, maybe you even compete with me, but if I can understand where you're coming from, then my ability to work with you and to accept that is completely different. And at the end of the day, I think the most important thing of all this is that it makes work more pleasant. If I go to work feeling that the bad things that happen to me at work don't happen because everyone has ill intent towards me, but simply because sometimes we end up on different sides of an argument, then that's just a much more fulfilling and purposeful, and I think pleasant, 10, 12, I don't know, now with coronavirus, 16-hour days that we all put in.
Right.